Oh, it's been kind of crazy lately with the holidays, with New Year's, and you know how it is. Things just go on a little too long and you don't get to the places you want to go. You get stuck in other places. You know the deal with that. You know, you end up being at a relative's house that you necessarily didn't want to be for a long period of time because they're maybe not your favorite relative. Yeah, kind of the situation I was in. Anyway, so I have another treat for you. I have a third chapter of Angel in Your Eyes, and we're just going to get right into it. And hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties, which we usually don't, but, you know, in case. So in case you don't know what this story is about, it is a Hellraiser story. It's fan fiction. I have not published it yet. I will in the future, but it really helps for me to read it out loud because then it stays fresh within my mind. And there's a kind of magic that happens when you read things out loud because they mean more out loud. And somebody actually told me about this, and I actually do believe that. And so really, if you write things, just share them with people. I know it's really mortifying to share things with people when it's like, what do they think? You know, what do they think? And you know, for the most part, if you have really good friends and good family, they're not going to judge you. If they do, they're not good people, okay? So here we go. So this is chapter 3 of Angel in Your Eyes. It just came to my attention. I don't really know your names, so what do I call you exactly? Amelie twisted her brow upward to form an extremely worried expression. You may call me Fear, Master, Oppressor, the great giver of pain, hardship, heartbreak, and ultimate suffering. Those are some awfully articulate names, not to mention rather long, but they are nice nonetheless. Yet, do you have anything shorter that I can call you, perhaps? Amelie's huge anime-like eyes squeezed together rather desperately. What is it with you humans and your desperate desire to give a name to everything? He had a condescending sneer on his face. It's more for conversation, of course, and you know, of course, whenever I enter the room and address you. Very well. You may address me as either Prince, Priest, or Paul, if you prefer a more human name. Oh yes, if you're feeling particularly generous, you may call me Captain or Master. Oh, whoa, wait, you think I'm some sort of servant? You think I came here to serve you? Oh, you say that as if it's a bad thing. You asked for purpose, fulfillment, otherwise known as a job. So if I'm to give you a job, that makes me your employer. So if you want fulfillment and purpose, I suggest you cooperate. You wish for something to do? Do as I say. You desire to be kept busy? Obey me. There was something about the demanding nature of his voice that made her want to get on one knee. Not in terror, necessarily, but in respect. Whatever you say. So, what is this job you have for me? Take this. Take it to the location of my choosing. Place it on a display case. On the highest shelf for everyone to see. Wait for someone to ask for it. Unlock the display case. Encourage them to take it. When they leave, follow them. Remain unseen after they solve it and the doorway's opened. Reveal yourself, but this time as a friend. You will lead him in. You have an innocent face, so he'll be sure to trust you, and he will follow you. Make sure you lead him to me. You'll know where to find me, and when you do, you'll regard me as a stranger. You've never seen me before. You are taken aback, shocked, terrified even. Be the way you are in your dreams, helpless and a hopeless damsel in distress, frozen and trembling with fear. You can add a few personal touches if you want. Be creative, but the goal remains the same. Lure him away and bring his soul to me. Well, that sounds simple enough, a bit deceptive, I must admit. So, you want me to act like I don't know you, and I don't know this place, and I'm far too innocent to know what you're capable of doing, right? Precisely. You catch on far too quickly. I hope the deceptiveness of this mission doesn't bother you too much. Not really, no. It's a complete stranger, so there's no attachment there, but what are you going to do with him exactly? Oh, what a splendid display of suffering you'll see. You may have the privilege of watching his sweet suffering. You may observe, if you agree, not to interfere. Is that understood? Yes, I understand. You don't seem too sure. Let me spell it out for you again. If you interfere with their suffering, I will expect you to finish them off yourself. So either you let them suffer or they die by your hand. Is that a clear enough picture for you? Yes, very, very clear. I'm just gonna go and do my mission. I'll come back, okay? And we can discuss all this later. She turned her head down the cursed corridor, but one of the hellhounds leapt out in front of her and bit the air a couple of inches from her face. Aren't you forgetting something? He held out the puzzle box for her to retrieve. Amelie looked in the eyes of the beast that reminded her of some sort of pit bull mastiff mix. She was fond of pit bulls. She remembered, so she placed her hand on top of the dog's massive head. It was rather squishy and moist, but it was warm at least. She thought of patting the beast on the head, but she decided it was better to massage the creature's head instead. The eyes went soft and gooey and melted, with the usual angelic puppy dog eyes, hungry for attention and compassion. The dog leaned his massively muscular body into her own, and he whimpered for more attention. I wish you could come with me, bud, but I think a dog of your size would be too conspicuous. It's not just your size, it's just because you're such a pretty puppy. And I don't think the world is ready for such a big, beautiful boy like you. Amelie spoke to the dog in a slightly higher baby voice, and the dog ate it up like a bowl of bones. The dog let out a happy sigh, like woof of approval, and sniffed her face gleefully, giving her an eager lick. The dog can wait. He can come with you next time if you succeed this mission. Oh, by the way, his name is Lester. Now go. When you return, and you have indeed performed well, I may even consider giving you a reward. Okay, well, that's awfully decent of you, I must say. Egads, you don't have to be so demanding, but all right, I'll leave. She glared at him as she took the box, and then used the box to open to the set destination. Now, that is the end of chapter 3. It is slightly shorter. Some people put chapters like this because they are kind of like little teasers. They give you a little bit more of the story, but don't actually, give out a lot You know, they don't have any spoilers involved. And it should be pretty obvious what it's going towards. Maybe you figured it out now. If you do know what's going on, you can let me know. I'm not gonna actually give you a spoiler, but I do have several chapters that I have saved, and so this is like it's, as I said, my projects go from never ending to frequent to intermittent to but they're always there, and the stories sometimes will be finished, sometimes they won't. Hopefully I will be able to finish this. I'm very hopeful. I hope you're hopeful too. I hope you're hopeful. And that it concludes chapter 3, which was the teaser chapter. It's the cliffhanger chapter. It's not really a cliffhanger. It's more of just like you have to get to the next chapter. And you know how it is when you have an episode of a show and it's really good, and then it just leaves you there, and you're like you're wondering what's going to happen. And so that was actually shorter than I expected. I don't know what I was thinking that day when I wrote that, but probably if you want to know, that was actually 1,000 words that I read. You know, that's 1,000 words. That's actually pretty exceptional. You know, 1,000-word essay. Yeah. So, that's actually pretty exceptional considering, because some of my chapters include 2,000 to 3,000 words. I once had a chapter that was about 4,000 words, and that's not. I'm not kidding. When you go on the mobile site of fanfiction, it actually tells you how many words you put in each chapter. But the mobile app, I noticed, doesn't do that. So, really, fanfiction is great. I use it mostly not so much to read other stories, but to really make stories of my own. And I don't really have a lot of followers, but that's not really important to me. What's important to me is my writing and how it helps me. It's an escape for me. It's something. It's a form of therapy that I can use that yeah, hopefully distracts me from my depression. So I say good day to you, and I hope you like my hat. I got it for Christmas. It's a steampunk mortician hat, I suppose. I think it kind of reminds me of a mortician, so I like that. I also have a mask that goes with it. Unfortunately, it's very cumbersome. Like, I can't really use the mask because the mask is like, first of all, it just like fogs up all the time, and I can't I'm afraid that I'm gonna like hurt myself, because it's one of those things you can't really you can't see on the sides, and that's dangerous, and I can only see like right in front of me right there. So it's essentially like one of those blinders that you would give a horse, you know, where they can only see ahead of them. Yeah, it's not ideal. I mean, it's really good for cosplay, but I don't think I would be roaming around the streets during COVID with that on. I don't think they I doubt if they would give me service if I did that, actually, and they would be like. But it is a plague, so I thought the raven mask, which was actually something that was used during the bubonic plague, so that's I've always wanted one, and yeah, that's what I got for Christmas. I got a bubonic plague mask. That's just what I wanted. Seriously, it was. Because I'm weird and I like the macabre, and I'm dark and twisted like that, so, and I was very happy. I also have a dress that goes with it, so it was one of those things where, you know, I just decided that all of these 3 things would go together. That there would be a dress, there would be a mask, and that would be it. So one of these days I might show the ensemble, but for the meantime I probably will just be wearing the hat. I don't like I don't like showing my whole body on the internet for obvious reasons, because, as you know, the internet is not a safe place. And I've had a lot of trouble with a lot of guys misjudging me. And meanwhile, I've only showed my face. Only my face. I'm not a flirt, so, you know, I'll just show my face and they'll be like, you know, they'll be like, and I'll be like, you having fun there? You having fun? I'm gonna block you, okay? Okay, good, goodbye. And I don't give them any explanation, because if they've shown that they're disrespectful, which I've had a couple people been very disrespectful, so I'm gonna do a Billie Eilish. I'm either gonna wear really baggy clothes, or I'm just not gonna show my clothes at all, because I don't want people making weird comments about my body. And when you become famous, that's inevitable, of course, but I don't want to give anybody any reason to harass me in any way. And I don't want to draw a lot of attention to myself. I know that being a YouTuber is all about drawing attention to yourself, but there is a sort of, there is sort of an anonymity, you know, kind of there's a mask behind it. I mean, a lot of these people, you know, they act all animated and happy, and it's like this fantastic thing, but, you know, they're not always like that, you know, they're very different, and some of them are just performers. They're just performers, and they're doing what they're doing either for clout, or they're doing it to make a difference, or they're just doing it because they love talking about what gives them joy. And that's fantastic. YouTube is a great place for education. It's great for arts and crafts. It's great for anybody that has a passion and they want to share it with other people. And I would say Facebook is a great place, but it's not. It's not. I've found my tribe on Facebook, but not everybody else has. And it goes from, it depends on the day. Like, some days can be really great, and some days are just exasperating, because you encounter people that just automatically just misjudge you because they have it in their head that they know who you are. And I know that people are going to misjudge me no matter what I do, but I don't want to give people the wrong idea. And so I prefer to just show my shoulders and my hat and my head. So I hope that you respect that. And it might not always be that way, but I'm not going to be doing any fruity dances on here. Okay? If you want to see girls twerking, there are places for that. TikTok is one of them. There are actual twerking instruction videos, which I've actually watched, and they're very interesting. So it's literally just a dance video. So anyway, I've been talking too long, and I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day, and over and out.